From the Capitol, Anna Grazia, ABC 10 News.
They're calling for justice and they're taking to the streets here in Sacramento after Sacramento police shot Joseph Mann 14 times and killing him in July. These crude oil trains already come through the Sacramento area in places like Davis, but many are concerned about the amount of crude oil cars coming down the tracks. Christina, we're here in Walnut Grove at the New Hope RV Park, and as you can see, the water is flowing on the river right next to this RV park, and residents are being asked to evacuate. Now they're trying to keep the water out and keep it from flooding their facility while they're getting these trucks out of here as fast as possible and up to the dam. In Orville, Anna Grazia, ABC 10 News. We came down to 34th Street at the 50 overpass where Thomas's pod was before it was impounded. We know that Thomas was staying at an abandoned home nearby, and we just happened to get lucky. We saw Thomas coming out of this abandoned home right now. You can see him sleeping outside, but he was coming out of the window, and that's when he told us everything. Beetle-killed trees like this one are a big concern for Tuolumne County, especially when they're surrounding homes, because they're so expensive to remove, about $1,000 a tree, and the state and the county at this time can't intervene. The wildfire destroyed over 40 homes, and many of those that were evacuated found out today if they were one of the victims. Governor Brown says extending this initiative keeps California in front of the fight against climate change at a time when the president is pushing back. Hey, Chris, just about an hour ago, I arrived to the ER, walked up to the door, and saw the family of the deputy as well as other law enforcement officials. Immediately, I was greeted by a chaplain who asked me to give the family some space. Hundreds are gathered behind me to celebrate the end of Ramadan. But this very community was hit earlier today by a hate crime. Last week, we were here on Saturday after a young pregnant woman was shot, a tragedy that's really brought this community together. Para más información, llame al Departamento de Salud a 321-3000 o visite kernpublichealth.com. Anna Grazia, Telemundo. Here at the Dia de los Muertos celebration in Oak Park, we have the mariachi playing in the background. It is a beautiful evening. Let's go talk to someone that's celebrating this amazing event. Today, Sacramento decided to celebrate the 4th of July a little differently with Interdependence Day, a time to remember our diversity. We're here in Yuba City for the 3-day celebration of Guru Granth Sahib. People come from all over the United States to celebrate, so let's go inside and find out more. So have you heard gunshots before?
Yes.
And does it scare you when you hear them, or is that something you're used to?
Used to.
So you heard it from those kids. Violence is nothing new in this area, and they live just a few yards from where the shooting happened. We're going to go over to the vigil right now and see how the family's holding up. Thoughtful words and somber prayers from Cambodian monks as the Stockton community mourns 57-year-old Soor Rith, a father of 4, killed by a stray bullet November 10th while in his home with his wife.
This was such a horrible tragedy that's really affected not just this neighborhood, not just this greater community, but I mean the whole city.
We were just speaking to a bunch of little kids, probably about 30 children under the age of 15. They said this is something they're used to. They said this is something that they're not scared of, that they see people get shot all the time. They hear gunshots all the time. What's your response to that? How does that make you feel as the chief of police?
Sad. The fact that especially our youth, but anyone in a community, when they become numb to the gunshots, numb to the violence, is very sad. That means that this has gone on for far too long.
That's why I said no family out there deserves this type of pain. Nobody.
So Stockton Crime Stoppers have upped the reward to $10,000 for any information leading to the arrest of the suspects or the suspect who killed Soor Rith. In Stockton, Anna Grazia, ABC 10 News.
They're calling for justice and they're taking to the streets here in Sacramento after Sacramento police shot Joseph Mann 14 times and killing him in July. They said they want justice and they want it now.
Police! Police! Police!
Hands up! But all over the globe, they're killing us, and no one's being held accountable. They're getting away with it. It's murder.
Strong words and fists in the air.
I just really feel like they traded in those sheets and the nooses for badges and guns.
A bronze statue asking a question protester Monica Carter has an answer to.
We just want justice.
When you got a gun and a knife.
Justice for Joseph Mann, who was shot and killed by Sac PD on July 11th. On Tuesday, police released these videos showing Mann being shot 18 times, 14 bullets hitting his body. These protesters say the killing was unjust. Pastor Les Simmons says he's not against the police, he just wants change.
Meet each other where we're at, understand each other, and have some empathy for what each other is feeling and going through in this moment.
Simmons wants a conversation to be started and alternatives to be used in the police force, like every officer having a beanbag gun or rubber bullets.
Let's take it to a whole nother level. This is what our community is asking for. Let's go get it, and let's be a city that complements each other.
Amongst the voices of protest, these women were holding peace poles.
We claim this place for peace.
In hopes that despite the recent violence, peace will prevail.
Let's move on. Let's get to a place where we're one community.
In North Sacramento, Ann DeGrazia, ABC 10 News. Here at the Dia de los Muertos celebration in Oak Park, we have the mariachi playing in the background. It is a beautiful evening. Let's go talk to someone that's celebrating this amazing event. I have Norma Hernandez with me here. She built this beautiful altar with the help of some friends. About 1 of 50, right? 1 of 50 altars, and they're all dedicated for people that have passed away.
Yes. So that's the way that we can bring our people back. So that's the thing that we do.
Through traditional dances, from los matachines to folklorico. I wish I had a dress. And sugar skulls and face painting, bringing the community together for a holiday historians say Aztecs celebrated 3,000 years ago. Music is a huge part of the Dia de los Muertos celebration. You heard the mariachi going the entire time. I have Isabel with me right here. She just got off the stage. You heard her singing. She's amazing. Isabel, why is Dia de los Muertos so important to the community here and celebrating it every year?
This is a Mexican tradition, and we celebrate not the death, but the life of our loved ones that are gone.
So it's not a sad or scary celebration?
No, it's a happy day. That's why you hear the music, dancing, and all that. But it's supposed to be a happy day, and we celebrate El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
So I heard you doing a grito earlier. People were doing them. Can you teach me how to do one really quick so we can sign off that way? In Oak Park, Ann DeGrazia, back to you. The Salient Grotto here in Sacramento is one of 12 places locally trying to combat drunk driving, and they're doing it one straw at a time. It takes 4 quarters and a steady blow for the Lifesavers breathalyzer to tell you if you've had too much to drink.
I blew a danger. Luckily, I'm not driving.
Throwing in $1 in quarters for something like this is better than paying $10,000 for a DUI and a nice police ride.
Mike and Amy Samaritano, which means Samaritan in Italian, a perfect last name for people who pay for these machines out of their own pocket.
Found a machine and created the marketing for it and the slogan, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because that's what we want people to do.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Right.
Okay. I know that song. So you took that, play on words, and now you put that on the front of
the reality is that if you don't check yourself and you don't pay the $1 to see where you're at and you get in a car and you drive, you're going to wreck yourself, whether it's going to be a DUI or killing somebody.
All 12 in local bars, clubs, and casinos. The couple works day jobs to pay for all of them.
We're saving lives, and that's more important to us than making money.
And whatever money they do make, it goes straight to charity.
Hope it keeps spreading. Hope it gets to every place. Every bar should have it, plain and simple. That's just where I stand with it. I think every bar should possibly have it.
Lifesavers hopes to expand all over Northern California and Nevada.
Did you want something to drink?
Jimmy's Hair Garage has lots of free options.
Beer, water, wine, coffee, and tea.
And it isn't just your normal brewski.
It's a nice complimentary thing while you wait.
Jimmy's knows.
We serve like Track 7 and like Hobby Brewing Company, so it's not like cheap Paps or anything like that.
The clients love it.
It's nice to have some variety.
A perk not all salons have, but could now that Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill allowing barbershops and salons to serve up to 12 ounces of beer or 6 ounces of wine for free without a permit.
That sounds like a good idea. As long as it's not the hairdresser, though.
So who doesn't love a free beer? And although Jimmy's has it, this bill doesn't go into effect until January 1st. Despite criticism of the bill, these hair craftsmen say they check ID if they know the client isn't 21.
It's not like you're going to get overserved in a barber chair.
A cold one, while getting pampered isn't new for most salons, even though it is risky to partake before the new year. Once it is legal, the complimentary booze can only be offered until 10 p.m. In Sacramento, Anna Grazia, ABC 10 News. We're here in Yuba City for the 3-day celebration of Guru Granth Sahib. People come from all over the United States to celebrate, so let's go inside and find out more.
Come on, Annie. Your head's covered, right?
Yeah. Through the lines of people, we made our way to the prayer ceremony for the central guru of the Sikh faith. And it's Sikh, not Sikh.
People come make their wishes, and wishes come true.
24 hours of prayer, music, and food.
Anybody can come get food here 24/7.
It's like the Golden Temple in India.
Same thing.
Oh my goodness. So it's our version of the Golden Temple.
Yes, it is.
It's incredible. How many people did you say they're gonna come this weekend over the 3 days?
We're workshopping by 150,000 people.
All free, all vegetarian, and all donated.
There's gonna be over a couple million meals in these 3 days.
Oh my goodness. It's a cultural experience that is one of a kind. This is the largest Sikh event outside of India. Is this true?
It's very true.
Wow.
Back in India, we talk about Yuba City. Everyone talks about Yuba City
That's
and
insane.
the event here.
Why Yuba City of all places? Why is this the hub for so many Punjabi people?
The fields are so rich here, and it was a perfect opportunity for them to have a perfect livelihood.
He told us anyone is welcome to experience a little taste of India, no matter where you come from or what you believe.
It's about accepting and spreading brotherhood.
So if you'd like to join in on this celebration, you can come out for the parade tomorrow from 9 to 3. In Yuba City, Anna Grazia.
We are going to lose our forests as we know them today.
Dead trees as far as the eye can see.
And they're all beetle kill.
Tuolumne County Supervisor Randy Hanvelt says his community is in a state of emergency.
We're seeing ecosystem change before our very eyes on a pace and scale that we couldn't comprehend normally.
With 5 years of drought, overgrown forests, the bark beetle has thrived, leaving a trail and a dead tree behind.
Start eating the cambium layer around the tree. That's where all the flow of nutrients.
We try to provide education.
California Forestry Association VP of Public Resources Stephen Brink says the stressed trees try to fight the bug releasing sap, but most of those majestic pines are losing.
There's 200,000 acres of dead trees from the bark beetle.
Millions of trees.
85% of ponderosa pines are dead. 75% of sugar pines are dead. 40% of white fir are dead.
A devastation that Brink says can only be cured by water.
When you have a group of swarms of beetles, there's nothing you can do except wait for it to rain.
Beetle-killed trees like this one are a big concern for Tuolumne County, especially when they're surrounding homes, because they're so expensive to remove, about $1,000 a tree, and the state and the county at this time can't intervene.
My concern is running out of money before we run out of problem.
The bark beetle is just doing its job. Hanvelt says if we managed our forest prior to the drought, the insect wouldn't be so successful. But now it's everyone's problem.
But if you drink the water and you breathe the air in this state, this is a problem for you, just as it's a problem for me.
Caltrans, Cal Fire, Cal EPA, and other agencies are currently clearing a lot of the public areas. In Tuolumne County, Anna Grazia, ABC 10 News.
Thanks, John. And ABC 10's Ann DeGrazia is live now with more on the deputy's condition and how his family is doing tonight. What can you tell us, Ann?
Hey, Chris, just about an hour ago, I arrived to the ER, walked up to the door, and saw the family of the deputy as well as other law enforcement officials. Immediately, I was greeted by a chaplain who asked me to give the family some space and said they weren't trying to talk to us at this time. But earlier today, I was close to the Red Roof Inn where I met people who were evacuated. And here's what they had to say.
Went to the window to see what was going on, and then they all started pointing at me. The guy at the window, the guy at the window. And then
Tony Lynn is a traveling nurse and was staying at the Red Roof Inn when the shooter was in the building.
The SWAT team started walking down the row of rooms toward mine with their guns, saying, come out, get your hands on top of your head. So I came out like this.
And you're like, this was not me,
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
asleep.
I was asleep. Yeah, I had no shoes. I didn't have a chance to grab anything.
Tony ran into the liquor store to call his family so they knew he was safe. He wasn't alone. Sharissa James was also on Watt and the I-80 waiting to get back in her room.
I'm sitting here waiting. I'm really kind of, I feel like I hope all is safe. I hope the officer pulls through, and I hope they catch the guy that done this.
She had just left when everything happened and was thankful to not have been in her room when the shooter was present on her floor.
I think it's everywhere. I don't think crime picks its areas where it's gonna happen. You never thought that someone would get shot at the light rail station. I didn't think so, but it happens.